When did the bomb blasts on the train happen, and where did they happen?
Where it happened on 7th of July, and it started in Mumbai. Actually, it was in Mumbai in the local trains, and there were 8 blasts altogether, and out of which 7 were the bomb blasts and 1 was diffused. Well, I was in one of the trains I was in one of the trains which was supposed to be the last blast according to the series of the bomb blast which happened in Mumbai. And when I got off and I was out of the station, and suddenly I hear a big noise of something bursting out, and after that I couldn't hear for two hours or something. It was such a big blast, as in the sound was so big that it made my ears blocked.
What did you think happened when you first heard that sound?
I thought there is some gas explosion or something, some cooking gas explosion somewhere. But after, when people started running hustle and bustle, I somehow realized that it is bomb blast and it is not a normal cooking gas blast.
So as soon as the explosion happened, people was running straight away, or were they?
They were running straight away. And usually in near the railway tracks, there's some slums, and those were the people who were running, and they were shouting bomb blast and everything. And there were some dead bodies lying out there. They took them to the nearest hospital, and I can see some of the people without their hands, and it was just like a dead morgue room or something for me after the bomb blast.
So were the emergency services on the scene straight away?
Yeah, they were straight away. But before that, the slum people actually helped the people who were victimized in the bomb blast.
What time of the day did it happen?
It was right in the peak hour of say around 7:15 in the evening. This is generally a time in India where people go back home from their work.
So this would have been pretty much all the office people.
Hours, yeah. It was most of the office people, and it was in the first class compartment of the local trains, where most of the well-educated, or must say one of the well-earning people get into.
What was the reaction at that time? How long did it take for people to come over the events of what happened?
It took almost 2 months for people to come out of it. There were many people who were not going to their offices. Some people were mentally struck with it. Some people they became physically challenged after the bomb blast. So it was like an emotional as well as a physical loss to the city, basically.
And what about on the day? How long did it take for there to be order as soon as the bomb blast happened? How long did it take during that day?
It took 2 days for everything to be in order, actually. I could see every station in the city has, the train stations, or the tube stations, you would say in London language, has the dead rooms, right? And and the dead rooms had layers of dead body, which couldn't be identified for at least a week.
How many people were actually killed and how many were injured?
I have no such data with me, but I think should be around 500 people were killed and injured together in that one train.
And just in that one train?
In this train.
And was there any more bombings afterwards on the other trains?
It was prior to that. Prior to this bomb blast which I'm talking about, there were 6 more.
6 more?
Yeah, that were in different train stations in Mumbai.
So what happened over the next 2 days? Were all the train services cut off?
The train services were cut off, yeah, because of some maintenance things and everything, but it did not stop. The life continued, life moved on.
What do you think, when you say life continued, was it kind of like showing a moral courage among society?
Yeah, there was a lot of moral courage. There were people giving tributes to those who were dead in the bomb blast. There were people who were giving donations and aids to people who were physically injured, and there were some companies who were doing, who were giving financial aid to the families who have lost the sole earner of the house.
How did you feel when it happened? What was your reaction first?
I was stunned. I was completely stunned. I did not know what is happening. And I couldn't hear things. I could just see people randomly running all over the place, trying to collect any bed sheet or any piece of cloth which would come to them, which is very easy to grab it and just, roll people into it and get them into the hospitals.
Were you afraid to get back on trains after that? Were the people of India, of Bombay, afraid to get back on trains as well?
Yeah, there were people who were literally afraid of getting into the train.
How long did it take for you personally to get over your fear of that?
I think it took me a week to get out of it.
Okay, thank you.
You're welcome.